We better out. I'm live apparently. Good evening everybody and welcome to Wednesday night's quiz. Now first off, let's just make sure we've got some sound because Sunday night was an absolute disaster and nobody could hear me. So I'm hoping everybody can at least hear me tonight. So quickly in the chat just say yes, we can hear you Nick, or no, still no sound. It was an absolute disaster Sunday night, which was a bit of a shame because we had so many people actually logged in and signed up to do the quiz on Wednesday night, on Sunday night, sorry. However, Wednesday is another day, so let's see how we go tonight. Thank God for that. Right, that's good. Right, sadly I can hear you. Nice from Robin, the first in there with a little dig to say you can hear me loud and clear. Hello from Yorkies, they can hear us too. Good. So that does mean for some reason I think of all the things that I didn't think of doing with my computer, other than throwing it out the window on Sunday night, was actually rebooting it. I thought, well, no, because I never switch it off. I thought, well, there's no way that it's ever going to need a reboot, you know. But I think it was after the Thursday night quiz, which we'd done for the Rugby Town Hall, I'd plugged my computer into the television HDMI, and I think the HDMI had it take me some time to recalibrate the sound to get it to work through the HDMI, and I think I must have switched it off default mode or something, but never mind. So anyway, we'll see how we all do. Right, who we got logging in so far tonight? We've got Gerald. He is here tonight. We've got Vanessa's just joined in. Robin's joined us. We've got Martin Davis has joined us with Tina. As I say, the Yorkers have joined us from obviously York somewhere. Gareth Williams, Gaz and Bean are here. Home Alone 6 are all here as well. Excellent. Nice to see Home Alone 6. Talking of Home Alone 6, I was going through the scores from last Wednesday night. We had in first place last Wednesday night, we split the difference. Then we had the Quizzy Rascals on a fantastic 61 points last Wednesday. Can't go wrong with that. In third place, we had Aid the Lovely One with a fantastic 60 points. And then we have PRS on 59 points, closely followed by Home Alone on 58 points. So congratulations to the top 16 from last Wednesday's quiz. It was now my daughter, Lydia, is actually going to put the questions on, I hope, remotely, because she's not with us tonight. So we'll see whether the technology works or not, but never mind. Ian Miller says, Ian, missed you Sunday, or as I told the Alex Brown said, I didn't down on the City as Bournemouth and Poole. Well, Ian, you probably would have missed me anyway, because it took nearly half an hour to get Sunday night's quiz going, which was an absolute disaster. But never mind, all to do with the microphone on my thing. Everybody could see my beautiful smile and face, but unfortunately, nobody could hear me. So Denise has just joined us. Hi, Denise. All well? Hope you're keeping well. Mike Yates has just joined us. Good evening, Mike. Hope all is well with you. Ready to do battle again? You were one of the few that stayed with it on Sunday night. I just must point out the importance. I had to stop the stream on Sunday night. Once you've stopped a stream with YouTube, obviously it puts that in a locker and you can't start that stream again. So you have to start a new stream. Now that's very easy, of course, if everybody subscribes to my channel, Pewey1957. There's a little button somewhere on your screen which will allow you to subscribe to my channel. Do feel like free to subscribe, because if ever I do go off air and have to reboot my computer, restart the stream, whatever else, halfway through a quiz, it's imperative, the only way really you can join it is to go to my channel and look up the new stream, and just by clicking on it you'll be back on with the new feed, which is a bit of a disaster. Never mind. So Denise is in from first time here from Dublin. That's what I like to see. Good. Well, we have friends from all around the world, Dublin included. Well, I say Dublin included. It's the first time we've had anybody take part in the quiz tonight. So good evening to you, Denise. 6 pretty straightforward rounds of tricky trivia to keep you going and entertained. We start the quiz at 8:15. 2015. You mark your own rounds and you put your score in after each round, basically. So we just run a total score. So if you score, for instance, 8 on the first round, 8 on your second round, you just give me a total score of 16 after the first 2 rounds. It's pretty straightforward. There's no real prizes for the winners other than the prize of, or the pride of being put in the Winners Hall of Fame on my Facebook page for when we do the quiz next week. Right, we've now got 28 teams logged on, so to speak. We have 10 minutes before we start tonight's quiz. So let me quickly run through tonight's rounds, let you know what we're doing. Round number 1 tonight is entitled Wednesday the 14th, which I'm sure everybody knows, and the first 57 quizzes I've done all start with the initial letters of the word Wednesday, followed by the numbers 1 and 4, followed by the letters T and H. So Wednesday the 14th, 13 questions, general knowledge questions, starting with the letters or the numbers of Wednesday the 14th even. Round number 2 tonight is a food and drink round. Most people seem to like a good old food and drink round, so I've come up with 10 more tricky questions to test your knowledge. Round number 3 tonight will be a connections round, where the 10th question in the round will ask for a connection between the previous 9 answers. Round number 4 tonight is an initial letter link, where we take the initial letters of the first 9 answers, we rearrange them to spell out something or other. Round number 5 tonight is a straightforward science and nature round. Science and nature round. Not quite sure how much nature there is in there, but there must be if it's a science and nature round. And finally, we have a straightforward general trivia round, with 10 tricky questions. Normally, some of those are multiple choice. So even if you don't know the answer, you can have a guess at it and see how we go. What's the Faze just said? Hi gang, I just heard you talking about doing Battleneck. I've just done that, wrestling the bed sheets onto the mattress on the top bunk of my daughter's bunk bed. Excellent. Oh well. I remember the days of bunk beds, my 2 boys, top and bottom. Oh dear God, yes. Clive, good evening, Clive. How are you tonight? Oh, he's come on. He's even put in the chat there, Ange, tonight. Good old Clive. So it's online. Right, quickly been through the rounds tonight. So let me just run through last Wednesday's top 6 places. I had mentioned it early on, but last week, out of a possible 63 points, one team managed to get 62, split the difference. I'm not quite sure how, but they did. There was another team, the Quizzy Rascals, on 61 points in 2nd place. Aid the Lovely One joined us on 3rd place on 60 points, which would have been a winning score most weeks. Then we had PRS. PRS ended up on 59 points. And we had Home Alone 6 were on 58 points. And there were quite a few teams on the 57s, 55s, and 54s. So anybody in the 50s last week did remarkably well. So that was great. So we've just had Mick Roberts join us. Mick and Bev joined us from Bilton. Good evening to see you, and hope you're both keeping well. Michelle, good evening to Michelle. And Crick signing in. That's 2 teams from Crick we've got now online. Anne Anderson, Anne and Dave checking in. Wednesday night as Dave is off work tonight. Excellent. That's what I like to see. So two of us. Clive and Janet from Stockton. The hi all from Teesdale. Well, let's have a big welcome to Clive and Janet from Stockton. Good evening to you. Hope all is well. So we've got Stockton. We've got Dublin. We've got our friends from Worcester, and we've got where have we got? Cambridge signed in yet? Not quite, but I'm sure they will be before the end of the evening or before we start. Right, currently we've got 36 teams logged in, ready to do battle, or 36 separate logins. Let's put it like that. So for the newcomers, certainly Clive and Janet from Stockton, and Denise from Dublin. As I've already said, just get a notepad ready. There are 6 rounds of general trivia. I'll explain each of the rounds before we start. You mark your own scores, and after the end of each round, do fill in and feel free to add into the chat. The chat is very important. Last week, or I think it was last Wednesday, we had a bread joke going around, and it became a bit of a pain, to be fair, so to speak. And it was excellent, because everybody kept cracking jokes about bread for no good reason, but never mind. So if anybody wants to start us off with some silly joke about anything, do feel free to post it on the chat column. The more people chat, the better. In fact, I met some people in the pub on Saturday night who introduced themselves and said, "Oh, we do the quiz every week." Well, to be fair, I didn't realise, and yes, oh, here we go. Pain, which is French for bread. Yes, I know. Here we go. Evening, Nick. Did you eat the mushrooms? No, because that was a picture of some mushrooms from a few weeks earlier. However, I did take a picture of some mushrooms today. I don't know whether I can show you them over the air. You'll be able to identify them, I'm sure. Let's have a look, see with my camera. Don't think it's going to work this, but it might do. Here we go. These are today's mushrooms. Now then, what are these? The base of a tree. Yeah, where are they? Can anybody identify those mushrooms? They were kind of orangey in colour, fairly small, about the size of my thumb, I suppose. Mushrooms, the only room you can go into. It's not mushroom for that. Power generation, Matthew, was absolutely awful today. I'm sorry. Puffballs, not poisonous, but not edible either. Ah, great. Yeah. What, even if you were really desperate to eat something, are they totally inedible, or they just not taste any good? All right, we've got Jane and Graham just joined us from sunny Devon with cousin Sue and her husband John. And excellent. Well, good evening to Sue and John. I hope it's great to see you've joined us. That means a very strong team tonight there. Horrible texture, apparently. All right, that's a good reason for not enjoying them. Now, another thing, I went and picked off the neighbour's tree yesterday some about 30 quince fruits. Now, has anybody actually done anything with quince? And are they the kind of thing that tastes nice, or have you got to just do as the recipes do and make jam and jelly out of them? All right. Oh my goodness, what's that? Leprechaun and what? Oh dear, you need to come and do my Latin pronunciations for me, Sarah, I'm sure. Oh well. Oh, perhaps they are. I'm sure. Well, he says they're non-poisonous. She said they were non-poisonous, but never mind. Right, we've got the famous five have just joined us. So good evening to John O'Rourke and the famous five. Roy Jones just put in their mushrooms. Well, there's not mushroom for that. Nick, you said such a fun guy. Oh dear, oh dear. Think you need an owl and a pussycat for quince? Well, I thought about that one. We even sang that song to my granddaughter this afternoon to teach her. I think in a tagline once, better in jelly. Yes, here from Uist. I'm struggling with the reception. Oh no. Well, there's apparently there's a button at the bottom of your screen. The people from Manchester Mod from Uist. If you hit the button, it will refresh. You can try refreshing the line, see whether it'll help. I'm amazed you got any. I'm amazed you got any reception at all last week, but you did. So well done to you. Wasn't marmalade originally made with quinces? Well, it may well have been. We could try that. I'm sure. I might look up a few recipes and see. What's that? Have we got a UK geography round, as I'm using a UK atlas as my writing desk? Goodness gracious. That's nearly as bad as my mate that used to use his diary in the pub. But never mind. Portuguese marmalade from them. Well, there we have it. Well done, Robin. Look at that. Marmello, quince. We are here. Right, the Quizzy Rascals have joined us. Right, as we speak, it's about time we got going. We've got a minute now to take off. There are two. Actually, we've got a lot of people joined us tonight. We're up to 53 concurrent people online now, which is excellent. 54. That's more than previous Wednesdays for a little while. It may be because we're all getting fed up and going back into lockdown, and people have got to join us because we've got sod all else to do. It's not as if we can stay out at the pub but long. Do you put questions on the screen? As my mother playing with me, and she's a little deaf. Yes, we do. They go in the chat column, which is on the right during the quiz. My daughter Lydia, who's normally by my side, but this is the first time in 57 quizzes, she was feeling a bit queasy. It was probably after eating my quince or something, but never mind. She sat at home and she's going to put all the questions up as and when we go. What sounds a bit odd. Yes, I'm sure it does. Right, so good evening to Paula. Good evening to Graham, and good evening to Nick. Nick Bowers, Jim +3. Hey, so there's a good chance there. And Ian's joined us. Harry, Julie in absentia. Yes, they're both in Great Yarmouth. We went round to their house and picked up some, as I was saying earlier, some quince. So very nice. I feel like high scores coming on tonight. Lydia's just said, I'll be writing the questions, Denise. And Denise was like, thank you. Right, it is now 2015. So without further ado, round number one is entitled Wednesday the 14th. So your first answer starts with the letter W, followed by the letter E, followed by the letter N. You get the idea as we go. I will just remind you as we go. So question number one. My daughter will post this question straight after I've said it. Pumbaa, a fictional character in the cast of The Lion King, is what type of animal? Starting with a W. So Pumbaa, a fictional character in the cast of The Lion King, is what type of animal? I wonder how far behind Lids will be. Oh, no, there we go, straight away. You'll have to start posting the question about a second earlier, Lids. as soon as you hear me start mentioning the question, you post it, because you're probably a second or two behind us. But never mind. Question number two. This starts with the letter E, as in Ed. In horse racing, which race course even hosts the Oaks Stakes and the Coronation Cup? So in horse racing, which race course hosts the Oaks Stakes and the Coronation Cup? And if it's any help, it's not the Curragh. But it's got to start with an E. Question number three starts with the letter D, as in Wednesday. In the William Shakespeare play Hamlet, the title character is the prince of which European country? So question three again, in the William Shakespeare play Hamlet, the title character is the prince of which European country? How are we all faring so far? Keeping up? Just for your information, we're on a fine bottle of Abbottale tonight. Green King's finest. Question number four must start with the letter N. Wednesday. Right, starting with the letter N, which country hosted and won the 2011 Rugby World Cup? So there's not a lot of thinking about that, I'm sure. So question number four, which country hosted and won the 2011 Rugby World Cup? Question number five may be a little ageist. It's a two-word answer, basically because it's somebody's name. Come on, you Yorkies, let's see whether you can get this one. The publication of whose diaries revealed that she'd had an affair with John Major? Two-word answer starting with the letter E. So the publication of whose diaries revealed that she'd had an affair with John Major? Right, question number 6. Come on, Georgia, I'm sure you get that one straight away. Do remember you got the letters W-E-N-D-S-E. This one starts with an S, and this is probably the harder one. Question number 6. Which mountain range lies mainly in California and has a name that means snow-covered mountain range in Spanish? Elvis Presley. Oh dear. So question 6 again. Which mountain range lies mainly in California and has a name that means snow-covered mountain range in Spanish that starts with the letter S? Come on in, I'm sure she's keeping up with you. Well, you never know, of course. I'm expecting a good showing tonight, Ian, for all that rest at the weekend. Sunday's quiz, I do apologise for everybody that had to put up with Sunday's quiz, with me being half an hour late starting, and then starting on the wrong stream, but never mind. Right, question number 7 does take a little bit of thinking, but not too hard. Who has been the only, this does start with an E, who has been the only US president with a 4-syllable surname? Sorry, it starts with a D, of course. And that's his first name. So who has been the only US president with a 4-syllable surname? And his first name starts with a D, which helps somewhat. That's not a 4-syllable, Ian. Donald Trump. Right, question number 8. What is by far the least densely populated American state, with just 1.3 people for every square mile? That's not a lot, is it? So question 8 again, what is by far the least densely populated American state, with just 1.3 people for each square mile? That is not a lot. How are we all doing? Okay? All keeping up? That begins with the letter A, of course. Question number 9, beginning with the letter Y, which gives this one away straight away. In 1928, Pedro Flores, a Filipino immigrant to the United States, opened a manufacturing company in Santa Barbara, California, to produce which toy, which was formerly called a bandolore? So in 1928, Pedro Flores, a Filipino immigrant to the United States, opened a manufacturing company in Santa Barbara, California, to produce which toy, which was formerly called a bandolore? That starts with the letter Y, which makes it easy. Not many toys, I suppose, beginning with the letter Y. I'm sure a lot of you will come up with them, but never mind. Question number 10. Now, for all you that haven't done the quiz before, this starts with the number 1. The number 1. What is the minimum age requirement in the United Kingdom to hold a private pilot's license suitable to fly an aeroplane solo? It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? So question number 10, what is the minimum age requirement in the United Kingdom to hold a private pilot's license suitable to fly an aeroplane solo? That took a lot of research, that did. It kept coming up with different figures. So don't bother Wikipediaing it, it would be wrong. So for all you that haven't done it before, it starts with the number 1, so it's got to be somewhere between 9 and, no it hasn't, 10 and 20, I suppose. No, it hasn't, 10 and 19. Question number 11, this starts with the number 4, as in Wednesday the 14th. How many dots are there in total on a standard pair of dice? So how many dots are there in total on a standard pair of dice? That one shouldn't take too much figuring out. So has anybody been up to anything very strange or unusual over the last day or two? Have we had anybody's birthday in the last week that needs mentioning? Do feel free to dob in your partners if it's their birthday, either today, yesterday, day before, or this week, next week, whatever else, and we will wish them happy birthday. Right, question number 12, starting with the letter T. Johann Lippershey was a German-Dutch spectacle maker. He is commonly associated with the invention of what optical instrument? George, you said we went to Aldi again. Not very strange, but quite exciting. At least Aldi have some good beer, don't they? We got this from Aldi's. This is my next beer to be drunk, an Aldi special, 99 pence. Not too bad value, but never mind. So just mention that question again, starting with the letter T. John Lippershey was a German-Dutch spectacle maker even. He is commonly associated with the invention of what optical instrument? Martin says, sea fishing in Weymouth and fossil hunting in Lyme Regis is weather too rough today, apparently. Where on earth are you at, Martin? Are you on holiday somewhere, or have you... Or you've been there and back to see how far it was today? Georgia said they're drinking Black Sheep Ale from Aldi's. Excellent. Can't get on with that. And finally, in this first round, starting with the letter H, H for hotel, which fictional character has been played by Albert Finney, Peter Ustinov, and David Suchet? It's a two-word answer starting with the letter H. So, which fictional character has been played by Albert Finney, Peter Ustinov, and David Suchet? What's this? Faye's just saying, while travelling in Europe, I saw a group of men dressed as mushrooms performing Queen covers. I said they were great and asked their band was called. They replied, we are the champions, my friend. That's very good. Very good indeed, Faye. Any more mushroom jokes? We've had fungi. Right, has everybody got 13 answers down? They should. The first letters and numbers should spell out Wednesday the 14th from top to bottom. So you should have a W, an E, an N, a D, and so on and so on. What's that? W-E-D, sorry, Wednesday. No, I can never spell, to be fair. Supping Samuel Smith's organic wheat beer. Oh, that sounds very interesting. Right then, here we go. Mark your own, remember. Pumba, the fictional character, was in fact a warthog. Number 2, the Yokes and the Coronation Cup are both run at Epsom Downs. Epsom will do. Number 3, of course, Shakespeare's Hamlet was the Prince of Denmark. Number 4, which country hosted and won the World Cup? That was New Zealand, of course, the Rugby World Cup. Number 5, the publication of Whose Diaries revealed that she'd had an affair with John Major. That was Edwina Currie. Number 6, which mountain range lies mainly in California and has a name that means snow-covered mountain range? That's the Sierra Nevada. Number 7, the only 4-syllable surname that I was after for US president was Dwight D. Eisenhower. Number 8 was Alaska, of course, least populated. Number 9, Pedro Flores, a Filipino. He produced a toy called the Yo-Yo, of course. It was formerly called the Bangalore, though there's not really much information about that anyway. And number 10, In the United Kingdom, to hold a private pilot's license suitable to fly an aeroplane solo is 17. You can hold a private pilot's license at 16, but it's only for balloons and gliders. Number 11, how many dots are there in total on a standard pair of dice? That's 42. Number 12, John Lippershey. He was the first guy to attempt to patent the telescope, but he never actually got it patented for some reason. And finally, number 13, of course, was Hercule Poirot. So Hercule Poirot. So well done if you got all those right. So I'm expecting a few 12s, 10s, and the odd 13. So we've got Steve Farnan straight in with a 13. Well played, Steve. Got Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6 on an 11 week. Got Martin Davis on a 12. Sarah and the gang from Worcester on 12. Lydia is now putting all the scores up there. We've got Michelle Gibbons with a 12. Andrew Lewis with a 12. Famous 5 with a 13. Well played, you. Ian Miller's on a 12. PRS are on 12. Jen and Tracy are on 12 and a half. They've obviously given them a half for something or other. Nick Bowles on 11. Mick Roberts is on 12. Mike Yates is on a 12. Anne Anderson 13. I knew there was a strong team there. Graham Gifford on 12. Paul Lewis on 13. Sorry, Paula. The Yorkies, not bad at all on an 11. Well played them. Faint Stories on 12 for the Booby Prize girls. The Split the Difference are on 12. To save his business, my butcher is trying an experimental process where he gives his cows magic mushrooms before slaughtering them. Let's just say the stakes are high. Very, very good. Right, Denise is on 10. Eileen Williams is on 12. We've got the Manchester Mod, who's, to be fair, they've got their broadband keeps cutting in and out, I think, up in Uist on a fantastic 8. Well played them. Alex Brown's on 11. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton. Well played them on 12. Vanessa's on 10 from Burton on Trent. Oh, sunny old Burton. We've got Ian and Oldie Kookaburra Shiraz on a 13 out of 13. What's it? They let a 70-year-old fly a plane on his own. Good grief, they do, yeah. Yes, it's funny that, isn't it? But never mind. Jackie Skip, Booby 2 has arrived. There wasn't much room forever from us. Ha 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 ha. Apparently, Robin, they have to do a lot of training, even at the age of 16, 17, before they are allowed to fly solo. So it has to be pretty intensive. They've got to know what they're doing, I think. Even so, right, round number 2 is entitled Food and Drink. I wonder how many mushrooms we've got in this one. We'll have to see. Food and drink. Right, get your pens ready. I'm just going to crack open the Freak Ale Works. We'll see how this one fares. Right then, eyes down looking. Question number 1. What type of pastry is often used for the base of a tart, quiche, or pie? It does not puff up during the baking because it usually contains no leavening agent. So question 1, what type of pastry is often used for the base of a tart, a quiche, or a pie? It does not puff up during the baking because it usually contains no leavening agent. Unfortunately, the bag of crisps I had today is no help with question 2 because mine were from Aldi's. Question number 2. What is the main colour on the front of a packet of ready salted Walker's crisps? It's Manchester, man. We're on Downpour Scottish Gin. £40 a pop. Bloody hell. Is that a bottle or a... Good God. That doesn't seem cheap. So question 2 again, what is the main colour on the front of a packet of ready salted Walker's crisps? Unfortunately, I was eating ready salted Aldi crisps today and it's a slightly different colour. What room can be eaten? Mushroom. Oh, 70. Well, that's still a decent. I like that one, Robin. I once trod on a toadstool. The toad wasn't very pleased. Right, question number 3. Now, I'm not sure, and I'm sure I'll get told off about this. I haven't quite worded this as well as it might be worded, but never mind. Question number 3. A hogget, that's Hogget, is the word used to describe which farm animal in its second spring or summer, so aged between 1 or 2 years. I'll give you the choice. Is it sheep, cattle, or pig? So a hogget is the word used to describe which farm animal in its second spring or summer, so aged somewhere between 1 and 2 years old. I'll give you the choice. Is it sheep, cattle, or pigs? And if I get any smart asses saying, well, it's none of those, I'll refer you back to another. But let's see. Question number 4. The alcoholic drink mead is created by fermenting what with water? Although sometimes various fruits, spices, grains, or hops can also be added. So the alcoholic drink mead is created by fermenting what with water? Although sometimes various fruits, spices, grains, or hops can also be added. But they're very much a secondary thing. "70 centilitres of Scottish gin, £40 a pot. That is not a lot. Blimey, it better be good gin." Question number 5, listen carefully. Now made in the Netherlands. What sauce was invented and developed by a grocer from Nottingham called Frederick Gibson Garton? He registered the name in 1895. So question 5, and now made in the Netherlands. What sauce was invented and developed by a grocer from Nottingham called Frederick Gibson Garton? He registered the name back in 1895. So we're looking for a good old traditional sauce there. Question number 6, bound to be arguments over question number 6. Let's see how we get on with this. If you are having a traditional Devon cream tea, you should split the scone in 2 and then cover it with clotted cream and jam. In which order? I'll give you the choice. Do you put the cream, then the jam, or the jam, then the cream? Now, this is a traditional Devon cream tea. You have to split the scone in 2 and then cover it with cream and jam. But in which order you do it? I'll give you the choice. Is it the cream, then the jam on top, or the jam, then the cream on top? Now, that is an important question, isn't it, Georges? Not one you're likely to find easily. No, dear. Manchester Mod's just telling us the gin is 46%. Bloody hell. And it's sorry, I didn't mean to say that. And it's beautiful, but it's not helping me with the answers. It might do if you have a few more. Blimey, Cotswold Distillery just released a new single malt 70 centilitre bottle, $64.95. Might treat myself. Wow. Well, I brewed last, when did I brew? Monday, was it? No, was it last Friday? We have our own little small brewery, the Atomic Brewery in Rugby, and I brewed last, I think it was Friday. And the beer will be ready tomorrow to get into some casks. I think we're going to call it Boris's Blonde or something. Something to do with Boris because it's blonde and it's fairly light. Right, question number 7. Question number 7. What type of fruit would you find in a tarte de manzana casera? So what type of fruit would you find in a tarte de manzana casera? It's easier if you read the spelling there rather than trying to put it with my pronunciation of Spanish. Boris the Spider. Now that's a good idea. Yeah, any other? Actually, yes, a Halloween themed name would be quite good. Something to do with Boris. Yeah, Boris the Spider is actually quite good. So we've all read number 7 because it's in the chat column there. So question number 8. There are currently 1,740 Tesco stores in the United Kingdom under what name? Now I will give you a choice here. Is it Tesco Extra, Tesco Express, or is it Tesco Metro? So question 8 again. There are currently 1,740 Tesco stores in the United Kingdom under which of these names, really? I'll give you the choice. Is it Tesco Extra, Tesco Express, or is it Tesco Metro? Should have said which of these names, not I've got an awful lot of stores, I have to say, Tesco. That's not including the superstores and Question number 9 is for you beer drinkers. Porter is a style of beer that was developed in London in the early part of which century? So question 9 again. Porter is a style of beer that was developed in London in the early part of which century? And finally, question number 10, put you out your misery in this tricky food and drink round. According to the website Statistica, what is the biggest selling brand of savoury biscuits in the United Kingdom? It's a 3-word answer, which will help you somewhat, makes it fairly easy. So according to the website Statistica, what is the biggest selling brand of savoury biscuits in the United Kingdom? It's a 3-word answer, pretty straightforward. Don't think too hard. Right, there are our 10. Do we need any extra time? Do feel free, if you need some extra time, to just get on Wikipedia. Or no, I didn't mean that at all, because we don't have any teams that do that. If you need any more time whatsoever to get your answers down, do make sure you've got 10 at least attempts at getting something down, and then we'll do some marking. Now, who else would pay upwards of 70 quid a bottle or whatever for 70 centilitres of whiskey or gin? I'm not sure as I would, because I'm a beer drinker really, but never mind. Right then, are we ready to do some marking? Ready-ish, here we go. More please, says Leslie. What, more beer or more time? I'll give you another 20-30 seconds, Leslie, and then we'll do some marking, okay? Just see whether you can get an answer down or a guess for everything. That's all you need. A guess for everything. Well, it's nice to see so many people online tonight. We have 57 to 60 concurrent users, which is excellent news. Some people log in, obviously, part of a team somewhere, so it's not necessarily whatever teams, but even so, it's been consistently in the 50s, and we are beginning to get close to the 60s on a Wednesday night, which is very good. For all those that are interested, that have just joined the quiz, we do exactly the same thing on a Sunday night. We do tend to get 70 to 80 teams on a Sunday night, a little bit higher. Although last Sunday night was a complete disaster because my microphone wouldn't work. And after half an hour mucking about, nearly throwing my computer out the window, we rebooted it and everything was fine. Typical. got the inaugural first edition of the Cotswold single malt. That's what you need, is to get some collector's items, isn't it? And then become more valuable. Here we go then. Here are the answers to round number 2, the food and drink. The type of pastry I was after was called short crust pastry. Short crust pastry. Number 2, the main colour on the front of a ready salted packet of crisps from Walker's is red. Number 3, a hogget. Basically, I was after sheep. Technically, it's a lamb, a 2-year-old lamb. But when you look up lamb, they reckon that lambs can't be more than 1 year old. That's probably why they're called hoggets. So, sheep was what I was after anyway. 4 is honey. Number 5, I was after HP sauce, of course, developed by that grocer from Nottingham. Number 6, now then, you had the choice of putting the cream on and the jam, or the jam and then the cream. In a Devonshire, you put the cream on first, followed by the jam on top. So cream, followed by jam. Question number 7, a tarta de manza casera contains apple. It's an apple tart, surprisingly. There are currently 1,740 express, Tesco's Express. So well done if you got that. There's 252 extras and there's 176 metros apparently. So the Express is the biggest one by a mile. Currently 1,740 in the United Kingdom. Porter is a style of beer which was developed in which century? It was actually developed in 1721 or circa 1721, so it's the 18th century. Well done if you got that. Number 10, of course, was Jacob's Cream Crackers, those savoury biscuits. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, see how you've all fared. There were some testing ones there was no doubt about that. So possibly we'll see whether we'll caught 1 or 2 out. But do feel free to get your scores in and we'll see how it's done. Right, Ian Miller's on 20, Mick Roberts on 20, PRS is on 21. We've got Sarah and the gang from Worcester on 21. We've got Andrew Lewis on 17. Home Alone 6 on 19. We've got Anne Anderson on 20. The Yorkies 19. That's a fantastic score. Nick Bowers is on 19. Michelle Gibbons is on 20. We've got the famous 5 on 20. Vanessa Hughes is on 19. Denise, total score, I don't know. You put 8 out of 10. Grant Gifford's on 18. Paula Lewis now on 23 with the Quizzy Rascals. That's a great score. Martin Davis is on 19. Jen and Tracy crashed. Oh dear, 18 and a half. Denise, total 18. We've got Steve Farner on 20s. Faye's on 18. Clive and Janet from Stockton, 19. That's a great score, even so. Eileen Williams is on, and Gaz and Bean on 18. We've got Split Difference on 21. Ian and his Shiraz are on a fantastic 22. I think everybody's doing remarkably well. Mike Yates is on 19. In fact, everybody's keeping up remarkably well tonight. So well done, everybody. Caught me out 19, said Leslie on a 19 there. Well, yeah, tricky getting the cream tea the wrong way around. I can understand that. Manchester Mod 12 obviously need more gin. Yep, that's fine. Crack on, get a bit more gin. Alex Brown on 21, doing remarkably well. Well done, Alex. Right then, and Faye's forgotten me. Oh dear. Come on, Jackie. She has. Never mind. Right. Round number 3 is a connections round. These are 9 general knowledge questions plus a final question asking for a connection between the previous 9 answers. And obviously, if you can work out the connection, it helps you with all your questions. And I do give some extra time at the end of these rounds to just work them out. So question number 1, pretty straightforward. Are we ready? This is round number 3, a connections round. Question number 1. What letter is used as the Roman numeral for the number 500? So question number 1. What letter is used as the Roman numeral for the number 500? As we know, with Roman numerals, that's just a single letter of some description. Question number 2. A lot of you'll know this if you've got a smartphone or use your computer a lot. Established in 1988 and now with more than 305 million users. What is an American company operating a worldwide online payments system? So established in 1988 and now with more than 305 million users, what is an American company operating a worldwide online payments system? Come on, New Yorkers, you'll know that one straight away. In fact, living in York, you'll get the first one as well. It was pretty Roman, wasn't it? Well, maybe not. Question number 3. A bit old for I wouldn't know this one, but never mind. Question number 3. 5 years after splitting up, which girl group reformed in 2006 and reached number 3 in the UK singles chart with their comeback single, Rock Steady? Come on, Georgia, will you know that one? So 5 years after splitting up, which girl group reformed in 2006 and reached number 3 in the UK singles charts with their comeback single, Rock Steady? If it's any help, it wasn't the Spice Girls. Question number 4. They drag him out occasionally on the sky at night and things like that. In 2007, which famous musician gained his doctorate in astronomy with a thesis entitled Radial Velocities in the Zodiacal Dust Cloud? It could be zodiacal. Never mind. So in 2007, which famous musician gained his doctorate in astronomy with a thesis entitled Radial Velocities in the Zodiacal Dust Cloud? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. You'll have all have heard of him. Well, maybe not the Yorkies. Well, maybe they are. Now you'll get that. Or the mass of neutrinos. Why, is that a second book he wrote? Blimey, Ian Miller's got the link already. Very good, well done. Oh, all right, stop telling everybody you got the link. They'll get mad now. Question number 5. Behind Oxford and Cambridge, what is the 3rd oldest university in the United Kingdom? And if it's any help, it's not York. So behind Oxford and Cambridge, what is the 3rd oldest university in the United Kingdom? Now, do remember, for all these that haven't done this type of round before, a connections round, there is a connection between all these answers that you're putting down. It might be a word, it might be a year, might be a name, could be anything, a thing, whatever. So there is something that connects all these answers. Question number 6 may help you. In 2012, women were allowed to compete at the Olympic Games for the first time in which sport? So in 2012, women were allowed to compete at the Olympic Games for the first time in which sport? How's everybody's internet connection tonight? Is it all right? Wow, with the exception of Uist, obviously. At least you can hear me tonight. Right, question number 7. Question number 7 is a history question. This will suit the Yorkies. The Battle of Bunker Hill, which took place in Charleston, Massachusetts, took place in which war? I thought took place in twice there. It's a bit out of order. Never mind. So I haven't worded that one very well, but never mind. The Battle of Bunker Hill, which took place in Charleston, Massachusetts, took place in which war? Battle of Bunker Hill. Oh my goodness. My phone's going, or my wife's phone's going. Something important. Circuit breaker. Question number 8. Woodchuck and whistle pig are alternative names for which rodent? So the woodchuck and the whistle pig are alternative names for which rodent? I'm sure you'll all know that one. Question number 9, which I've just lost. Never mind, here it comes back again. In the well-known nursery rhyme, what type of pie was little Jack Horner eating? So question number 9, in the well-known nursery rhyme, what type of pie was little Jack Horner eating? And finally, of course, question 10, what is the connection between the previous 9 answers? So what is the connection between the previous 9 answers? Oh, have I missed question 8? No, I didn't miss question 8. Listen again, I will repeat question 8 for those that missed it. That was the one, I missed one out. There are 2 5s. Ah. Oh, sorry, yes. Yeah, sorry, everybody. You have actually had 9 questions there. Well, you have had 10. There are 2 5s, as Martin points out. The second number 5 should be 6, and the 6 should be 7, and the 7 should be 8. And the 8 should be 9, but never mind. Excellent. Well done, Denise. Got connection on number 8. Excellent. It does help when you get the connection, because then you can work backwards and work them all out, of course. Yeah, so Robin and Ian, the 2 Millers, obviously decided to pick up on the same thing. What happened to question 8? Question 8, of course, was question 7, according to Lydia. Right, I will give everybody just a minute to sort that out. So, we got any other silly questions to ask or jokes to come up with? We did have some very good jokes earlier. Has anybody got a birthday coming up? Come on, we're going to need late October birthdays, early November birthdays that I need to write down and embarrass you about when it's your birthday. Actually, do you know of any birthdays coming up, Ben? Never mind. Right then, everybody. Have we had long enough on that? It seems that quite a few people have got the connection and worked it out. Ah, Faye says mine's on the 27th of October. Ooh, right, I'll write that down in my little black book. Doesn't have to be a Wednesday or a Sunday, I suppose. Not that it matters. I'm sure you'll be. Oh, Matthew says, I've got a late October birthday in South Clare. It's the 25th and 30th. Oh, I get all these down while I can. There's nothing like embarrassing people. Oh, dear. Okay, everybody, have we had long enough on that round, or do we need any more time? Leslie, ball's in your court. Careful, he will ask you your mother's name next. Yes, and if you'd like to forward your bank account details, oh dear, in the tail. Right, here we go then. Are we ready? Does anybody need any longer with this connections round? Denise is ready. Everybody else ready? Or right, here we go then. Question number 1. Well, the answers are coming up. Here we go. The letter used in Roman numerals for number 500 is D, of course. Established now with 305 million users. A worldwide online payment system is by a company called PayPal. Number 3, I was after that girl group called All Saints. Well, I don't know if you worked that one out. Number 4 was a guy called Brian May. Brian May, of course. Number 5, behind Oxford and Cambridge, it is St Andrews, the third oldest university in the United Kingdom. Number 6, women were allowed to compete in boxing for the first time. Number 7, it was the American War of Independence. Number 8, woodchuck and whistlepig are alternative names for the groundhog. Number 9, little Jack Horner was eating a Christmas pie when he put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, what a good buy am I. A Christmas pie. And finally, of course, what connects with the previous 9 answers? It's days. We had D-Day, Payday, All Saints Day, May Day, St Andrews Day, Boxing Day, Independence Day, Groundhog Day, and Christmas Day. So well done if you got that. So we got Home Alone 6 on a very respectable 29 points. Well played them. We have the famous 5, John O'Rourke, just pipping Carroll by 1 point on 30 points. Well, Ian Miller on 30 points, Mick Roberts on 29, we've got Mish Huggins on 28, we've got Anne Anderson on 29, Jade Ann Tracy on 27.5, Denise is on 27, we've got Grant Gifford on 27, we've got Sarah on 29, we've got Vanessa Hughes 28, we've got Stefan on 27, Nick Bowser's on 27, Mike Gates is on 24, George Lambert and the Yorkies, 24 points, we've got PRS on 31 points. 26 for the Boobies. We've got Alex Brown on 29. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton on 29. Split the difference are on 31. Andrew Lewis is on 21 points. We've got the Quizzy Rascals are missing somewhere. We're scoring from the Quizzy Rascals. How are they faring? We've got Ian and his Shiraz on 30. Well played, Ian. Leslie Barrett's on 27 points. We got any other scores to come in? Any other scores on the doors? There's some great scores there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the 30s. Fantastic. Actually, it's very, very close tonight. Nobody's running away with it as yet. The Quizzy Rascals, who did very well last week, again on 32 points. That's the score to catch. So round number 4 is what's called an initial letter link. Now listen carefully, the teams that have not done this before. You get 10 questions on general knowledge where the answer to the final question can be spelt out by rearranging the first letters of the first 9 answers. So it's basically an anagram of the first 9 answers. Gaz and Bean on a fantastic, well done, 28 points. So it's all very close there. I noticed Manchester Mod haven't put their score in at the moment. They're drowning their sorrows in a bottle of gin. Which reminds me, it's now time for a very low alcohol beer, the Champion Dark Mile from Thwaites. Only 3% this, it's none of your 40% stuff. So probably like drinking water actually, but it doesn't taste like water, thankfully. Let's see how we get on with this. Right then, initial letter link, 10 general knowledge questions. Question number 1, in which Australian state or territory would you find the Adelaide River? It's not an easy one to start you off with. I might like to have a guess at that, but remember, you don't have to put that down as yet, just possibly Have a look at that later. So in which Australian state or territory would you find the Adelaide River? I presume that means it's full length. Question number 2 is a bit easier, but that is also geography. San Marino is completely surrounded by which other country? So San Marino is completely surrounded by which other country? One could say it was landlocked. So it's not landlocked. Anyway, no, forget that. Question number 3, this takes you back a bit. I don't think the Yorkies will like this one, but never mind, they might know this. In 1993, after cancelling an appearance on Have I Got News for You at the last minute for the 3rd time, which Labour politician had his place in the studio taken by a tub of lard? So in 1993, after cancelling an appearance on Have I Got News for You at the last minute for a 3rd time, which Labour politician had his place in the studio taken by a tub of lard? Very famous. Not if you're of the wrong age, I suppose, but never mind. He was quite a comic, really. Oh dear. Of course, that's a 2-word answer, so we need his first name for the initial letter link. It'll be the initial letter of his name. Question number 4, I'm sure you can work this one out. In a well-known 1964 novel, which race of creatures are paid in cocoa beans to work in a chocolate factory? So question number 4 again. In a well-known 1964 novel, which race of creatures are paid in cocoa beans to work in a chocolate factory? I didn't see your message, Hillary. Quince gin is nice. Make your own like slow gin. Excellent. Well, we can try that. Although, to be fair, Hillary, we got a brand new bottle of a very large bottle of Gordon's gin some 6-7 years ago. We added a lot of sloe berries and we've never touched it. That's true, isn't it? Because we're not big gin drinkers, but it seemed like a good thing to do at the time. So we've got that still stewing away. Quince vodka. What about Quince beer? Question number 5 is a little easier. Which country's police force are sometimes referred to as the Mounties? So question number 5 again. Which country's police force are sometimes referred to as the Mounties? That one seems a bit easy, doesn't it? Or a bit easier. Question number 6. What is one of the most conspicuous and recognizable constellations in the night sky? It is named after a hunter in Greek mythology. So question 6 again. What is one of the most conspicuous and recognizable constellations in the night sky? It is named after a hunter in Greek mythology. It's quite true. It is one of the most conspicuous. Oh, I can't see any stars tonight at the moment. Never mind. Question number 7, just might need a bit of lateral thinking to get this one. Founded in America in 1888, Share Moments, Share Life is an advertising slogan for which worldwide brand? Might just need a bit of thought, but you might be able to get that, I'm sure. So, founded in America in 1888, Share Moments, Share Life is an advertising slogan of which worldwide brand? Question number 8. What old, this is it's an old thing, what old type of gun has a name that derives from Dutch words meaning thunder and gun? So what old type of gun has a name that derives from Dutch words meaning thunder, gun? And question number 9. Association, garden, 9-wicket, and ricochet are all variations of which sport? It's one which I've played. Surprisingly, in the garden. So, question number 9. Association, garden, 9-wicket, and ricochet are all variations of which sport? And finally, question number 10, which may help you out somewhat, might not do actually, but it might do. The first letters of the first 9 answers, so you take the first letters of each of your 9 answers, can be rearranged to spell the name of which nursery rhyme character? And it's a 2-word answer. 2-word answer. So the first letters of the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which nursery rhyme character? Now there's a tricky one. Don't worry, the next 2 rounds are dead easy. Yes, we could try some quince vodka or quince gin. My daughter Lydia drinks vodka. Might like some quince. I have to say they're very sweet smelling, having taken them off this tree. And they're rather sticky as well on the outside, so there must be sugar in them. Is anybody getting worried about the new COVID restrictions coming in? Or are we all just giving up at the moment? Not bothered and carry on doing what we're doing already? So, right, how are we doing with our nursery rhyme character? Just don't brew any beer infused with quince. It might be nice. Actually, that's true, Robin. We've never had a quince infused beer. I can't remember that. We've had all sorts of tropical fruits, haven't we? But often on these cans, they put mysteriously tropical fruity taste, you know. What's this one say? Know your limits. Allergy advice contains gluten. Citrus mosaic. 6 apart or 6 apart. Your choice. rest of us. Now that's a good one, Matthew. I like that. At first, I didn't like mushrooms, but they started to grow on me. I do like that. I thought we'd agreed that the word infused had no place in brewing or beer. Well, maybe. No, you're probably right. Infused is not the right word, is it? Okay then, everybody, how are we all getting on? Do we need more time? See if anybody need more time, just let me know in the chat column. Do remember, whatever answer you've got should be 9 letters long. It's 2 words. It's a nursery rhyme character. Martin Davis is still thinking. Don't wear your brain out, Martin. Sure you're not. Come on. It certainly helps if you get the nursery rhyme character, then you can work more backwards, of course. Yeah, it's easier solving an anagram if you've got all the right letters, isn't it? But if you've got a couple of the answers wrong, it doesn't help whatsoever, which makes these particular rounds extremely tricky. It was actually turned out to be quite a nice day today, about 2 this afternoon. Oh dear. Now, Matthew, now that's getting worse. Apparently, you can't use mushroom stew as a password. It's not strong enough. Oh dear God. I like that. That's very good. Leslie says, "No, I've blown it. Carry on." Come on, you'll know that character. I'm sure you will. Right, I'm going to give you 30 more seconds to work hard, see whether you can get those brains and just come up with that last minute sudden. And if not, we'll do some marking. Right, here we go then. Question number 1, in which Australian state or territory would you find the Adelaide River? That's Northern Territory. Well done if you got that. Number 2, San Marino, of course, is completely surrounded by Italy. Number 3, the Labour politician I was after that was substituted with a tub of lard was Roy Hattersley. Roy Hattersley. Number 4, better known as the Oompa Loompas. The Oompa Loompas. Number 5, Mounties. Come from Canada, of course. Number 6, the most conspicuous and recognisable constellation just about in the night sky is Orion the Hunter. Orion the Hunter. Found in America, Share Moments, Share Life. Well, it's an advertising thing for a photographic company, Kodak. Well done if you got that. Number 8, the old type of gun I was after, known as Thunder Gun in Dutch, is a blunderbuss. A blunderbuss. Well done if you worked that. Number 9, Association Garden, 9-wicket, and Ricochet are all variations of the game of croquet. And if you rearrange those first letters, you could end up with a character called Cock Robin. Cock Robin. Well done if you got that. And that was tricky. So there are your answers down in the right that Lydia's put down there. I'm guessing if you only got half of those, you couldn't get the Cock Robin. But never mind. If you got Cock Robin, you could have worked it backwards just about, maybe. So well done, everybody. Let's have some answers in. We've got PRS with 41, was very good. We've got Sarah and our friends from Worcester with 39. We've got Famous 5 on 37. We've got Steve Farnan on 36. Ian Miller's on 39. Paul Lewis and PRS, Quizzy Rascals on 42. We've got Vanessa Hughes on 34. Graham Gifford's on 35. Mick Robertson on 37. Andrew Lewis is on 30. The Yorkers have moved on to 29. Nick Barrett's on 36. Leslie Barrett's 34. Michelle Gibbons on 36. Martin Davis is going pulling his hair out on 35. Got the Booper Prize Girls on 34. Home Alone 6 on 39 points. That's pretty good. Mike Yates is on 31. Got Jed and Tracy on 26 and a half. Leslie says 37. Got the anagram at the last second. Had all the right letters. Well done. Split the difference on 41. Alex Brown's on 34. We've got Anna's on 37. Ian and his bottle of Shiraz, keeping him company tonight, on 39 points. Well played, Ian. So we've got some great scores there. So There's a couple of teams just edged into the 40s now, but we've got some very close 39s, 37s and 38s. So it's all pretty much to play for still as we come to round 5, which is a very straightforward science and nature round. Who likes science and nature? I always like science and nature, but it's a bit specialist for a lot of people. Never mind. Here we go then. Question number 1 in our science and nature round. Which flightless bird is the fastest two-legged animal on land? So which flightless bird is the fastest two-legged animal on land? And that one didn't really take too much thinking, so I'll move very swiftly on to number 2. What name is given to protein in blood that contains iron, transports oxygen around the human body, and is responsible for blood's red colour? So what name is given to a protein in blood that contains iron, transports oxygen around the human body, and is responsible for blood's red colour? Just a one-word answer I'm after for that. Question number 3 is for all you mathematicians. Which of the following is an example of an improper fraction? I'll give you the choice. Is it 1/3, 5/2, or -1/5? So question 3 again. Which of the following is an example of an improper fraction? I'll give you the choice. Is it 1/3, 5/2, or -1/5? Question number 4. What type of animal features on the logo for the World Wild Fund for Nature? Not wild, wide. Sorry. I was reading that wrong. They've changed the name, of course, haven't they? So question number 4. What type of animal features on the logo for the World Wide Fund for Nature? Question number 5 kind of gives it away a little bit. The first part of this. So question number 5, also known as a conducted electrical weapon, what was partly named after a fictional hero called Thomas A. Swift when it was invented in 1974? So question 5 again. Also known as a conducted electrical weapon, what was partly named after a fictional hero called Thomas A. Swift when it was invented in 1974? Well, I'm enjoying this Champion Dark Mile. Very low gravity, but it tastes all right. Question number 6. So called by Dr. Black because it can be absorbed or fixed by strong bases, which gas was known as fixed air? So question 6. So called by Dr. Black because it can be absorbed or fixed by strong bases, which gas was known as fixed air? Come on, I'm sure we all knew that one at school, surely. That's the fixed air over, son. Right, come on, Matthew. Got any more mushroom jokes? Yours seem to be the best earlier. Question number 7. Again, a multiple choice this, but easy. Approximately how short of a metre is a yard? I'll give you the choice. Is it 3 inches short, 4 inches short, or 5 inches short? So question 7, approximately how short of a metre is a yard? I'll give you the choice. Is it 3 inches, 4 inches, or 5 inches? None of those are exact, by the way, but which is the closest? As I mentioned to everybody, do feel free to just subscribe to the channel, because it's going to be a lot easier if people in future have to log back into my channel because of technical issues. It's a lot easier if you've already subscribed to the channel, and then you can get straight back in. You'll also get immediate notification of any up and coming quizzes, which of course are 2 a week. We do a Wednesday night quiz at this time, obviously, and we do one on a Sunday at exactly the same time. So 8 for 8:15. You get me, unfortunately, normally dressed in different shirts, always the same picture in the background because it's nice and bright. An extra point or 2 for the person that can recognise that picture there, maybe. I'll get my head out of the way. But I think we've already had it before, but never mind. Right, question number 8. What class of animals make up around 40% of all living species of mammals and are characterised by having large front teeth that grow throughout their life and what they gnaw to keep them from growing too long? Jackie, I'm subscribed but couldn't get the chat back up on Sunday. God knows. God knows. Well, that's a shame, but never mind. So question 8 again, what class of animals make up around 40% of all living species of mammals and are characterised by having large front teeth that grow throughout their life that they can gnaw to keep them from growing too long? Question number 9, the opposite of evaporation. What name is given to the process where gas changes into a liquid when it touches a cooler surface? We all get that on our windows, I'm sure. So the opposite of evaporation, what name is given to the process where gas changes into a liquid when it touches a cooler surface? And finally, question number 10, something us Brits will probably dip out on, but maybe not. Named after a famous astronomer, what is the name of the European Union's new global positioning system? It's a one-word answer I'm after. So named after a famous astronomer, what is the name of the European Union's new global positioning system? And there we have it. 10 rather tricky questions on science and nature. Well, no, they weren't all tricky. Well, it's been great to see so many people online tonight. We're between 59 and 60 people currently online, which is excellent. I can't get over the fact that when I used to do the Sunday night quiz in the pub, I used to do 9 rounds instead of 6. Maybe I did stretch it out a little late because we were often in the pub until 11 or past 11. some of them have got work in the morning, but never mind. But then we were keeping people in the pub drinking beer. That was the important thing. Yeah, we had fag breaks, drinking breaks, and everything else. Right then, everybody, as they were straightforward questions and we didn't need to work backwards on those, I will give you the answers straight away. So here we go. The flightless bird I was after, which is the fastest 2-legged animal, of course, was the ostrich. Question number 2, what name is given to a protein in the blood that contains iron, transports oxygen? That's hemoglobin, of course, hemoglobin. Number 3, which of the following is an example of an improper fraction? It's actually 5/2, where the numerator is greater than the denominator, so it's 5/2. Well done if you got that. Number 4, the animal that features on the logo is the giant panda. I'll accept the panda, that's fine. Number 5, also known as a conducted electrical weapon. It was named after a fictional hero, or partly named after Thomas A. Swift. That's TAS, and it's a taser. I was after a taser. I'm sure you could work that one out. Number 6, fixed air. The gas was carbon dioxide. I was after carbon dioxide. Number 7, approximately how short of a metre is a yard? It's 3 inches, or 3.1 something or other, but never mind. 3 inches was what I was after. Number 8, I was after that family called rodents, which make up 40% of all living species of mammals. Number 9, the opposite of evaporation, of course, is condensation. When a liquid touches a cooler surface. I mean, gas changes to a liquid when it touches a cooler surface. And finally, question number 10, named after a famous astronomer. What is the name of the European Union's new global positioning system? That's called Galileo. It's not fully functional yet, but it will be over the next year or two. Unfortunately, we pumped some millions of pounds into that. We're not going to see any of it because they won't let us get near it, which is fair enough. Right, some scores coming in. We've got Steve Farndon on very respectable 45 points. We've got the Home Alone 6 on a fantastic 48. Sarah, our friend from Worcester, on 48 points. We've got Andrew Lewis on 39. We've got Graham Given on 44. We've got PRS on 51 points. Ian Sharrett, he's given up with giving us a total score. That was a 10. Mike Yates is on 40. Nick Bowers is on 45. Famous Five on 46. Michelle Gibbons on 46. Vanessa Hughes on 39. We've got Anne Anderson on 45. I'm running out of space. Oh dear. Leslie Barrett's on 42 points. Clive and Janet from Stockton 47. That's a great score. Martin Davis is on 43. The York is on a very respectable 37. How are you going to beat your high score yet? You see tonight, Georgia. I can see it coming. Gaz and Bean on 44. Split the difference on 51. That's a great score. Mick Roberts on 47. That's a great score. Ian Sharrett, he says on 49 points. Alex Brown's on 44. Woohoo! 10 out of 10 for that one. Denise on 47 points. Jen and Tracy on 45.5. Ian Miller's doing very well, 48. We've got the Quizzy Rascals, Paula Lewis on 52 points. Well played then. Booby Glass Girls on 43. What's that? Have you tried commentating on a horse race? That's what Carol said to me, Carol Jackson from the Home Alone 6. I think the first quiz we did when we were trying to... Problem is that the chat comes down and it's going down at such a rate, you've got to read it fast, otherwise you're in trouble. You can't keep up with the scores. You have to keep shifting it back up and down. Anyway, no, I haven't actually, Jane, but never mind. I'm sure I could probably commentate on a horse race if needs be. Nobody's actually asked me to, but there you go. They always seem to be Irish, though, people that commentate it. No, maybe not. Right then, of course, the last round is just 10 now. Round number 6 is just 10 general knowledge questions. I think it'd be great. 10 general knowledge questions. Most of these are pretty stupid. No, they're not. Well, they are. Yeah, we see. Let's just see how we get on, should we? At the moment, we have Paula Lewis, who I think is with the Quizzy Rascals, aren't you, Paula, on 52 points. We have Split the Difference on 51. We have PRS on 51. Then we have Sarah Carroll on 48. Yeah, it's all pretty close. So we're getting 49, 48. Oh, yes, Ian's on 49. So he's doing very well with his bottom. What's it? And Ian Miller's on 48. So let's see whether we can, even if we can't compete and beat the first place, let's see whether we can compete for third and fourth places tonight. Let's see how we fare. Right, let's go into the last round. These are 10 just general knowledge questions, starting with number 1. Here we go. With a population in excess of 5 million people, in which major African city does the Blue Nile meet the White Nile? It's a city I've never been to. I'm not sure I'll ever get there, nor want to go there, but never mind. Might be interesting just to go and see the rivers, I suppose, but with a population in excess of 5 million, in which major African city does the Blue Nile meet the White Nile? Question number 2. In which religion is Brahma worshipped as the creator? Because he periodically creates everything in the universe. Blimey, Jane, you actually lived there for a short while? Dear God. Now, that is interesting. What on earth were you doing there? Come on, you better spill the beans now you've said that. So question 2 again, in which religion is Brahma worshipped as the creator? Because he periodically creates everything in the universe. Ah, my dad was working there. What was he in? What kind of industry was he in? Just trying to think. What on earth you'd be in? Power stations, maybe? Foreign Office? Question number 3 is a bit more multiple choice. According to the Met Office, a heat wave occurs when the daily maximum temperature of 5 consecutive days exceeds the average maximum temperature by how many degrees Celsius? So it has to stay above so many days, 5 days. I'll give you the choice. Is it 5 degrees Celsius, 6 degrees Celsius, or 7 degrees Celsius? Agricultural chemicals. Oh, marvellous. We've got plenty of water there, I suppose, haven't we? So some chemicals, I can make some food. So question 3 again. According to the Met Office, a heat wave occurs when the daily maximum temperature of 5 consecutive days exceeds the average maximum temperature by how many degrees Celsius? I'll give you the choices. Is it 5 degrees Celsius, 6 degrees Celsius, or 7 degrees Celsius? It has to be for 5 consecutive days to be classified as a heat wave. Question number 4 is a very straightforward one or the other. Which of the following companies was founded first? I'll give you the choice. Was it Apple or Microsoft? And if you think that's easy, they were actually near 10 months apart. So question number 4 again. Which of the following companies was founded first? I'll give you the choice. Is it Apple or Microsoft? So, Jane, how old were you then when your dad was out there in Khartoum? That'll be interesting. What's that? Oh, no. I expect you would. Right, question number 5. Listen carefully. Which of these Glastonbury headliners has not had a UK #1 hit single? I'll give you the choice. Is it Florence and the Machine, Kanye West, or The Who? Don't bother, did I just say the answer? Oh, sorry. So question number 5 again. Which of these Glastonbury headliners has not had a UK #1 single? I'll give you the choice. Is it Florence and the Machine, Kanye West, or The Who? Sorry, everybody, if I've just blown your question, but never mind. Ah, just a baby. Question number 6. We've seen all these in the Wild West when the medicine man comes up with something special. Question number 6. What was originally intended to be a medicine when it was invented in the 19th century by John Pemberton? Do I need to go any further? With claims that it would cure headaches, relieve exhaustion, and calm nerves. So what was originally intended to be a medicine when it was invented in the 19th century by John Pemberton, with claims that it would cure headaches, relieve exhaustion, and calm nerves? It wasn't beer. Stupid. Leslie Barrett, he did all those. Question number 7 is a little bit tricky. Which of the following countries has a national flag that doesn't feature a cross? Again, I'll give you the choice. Is it Finland, Estonia, or Georgia? So which of the following countries has a national flag that doesn't feature a cross? Again, I'll give you the choice. Is it Finland, Estonia, or Georgia? Yes, Ian, I'm on a tin of Thwaites. It says Thwaites Champion Dark Mile, 3.2%. It's actually not too bad. I'm surprised. I am surprised, actually. I wasn't expecting much, but it's better than I thought. Question number 8. Listen carefully. The line, neither a borrower or a lender be, features in which Shakespeare play? It's a tricky one, that. The line, neither a borrower or a lender be, features in which Shakespeare play? I'm sure you'll all get that one. Right, 2 questions to go. We've been going nearly 1 3/4 hours now. Take the quarter of an hour off before we start, about 1.5 hours. So question number 9, which of the following would you collect if you were a numismatist? Again, I'll give you the choices. It's stamps, coins, or postcards. So which of the following would you collect if you were a numismatist? Again, I'll give you the choices. It's stamps, coins, or postcards. And finally, question number 10, put you all out of misery tonight. A symbol of peace. The branches of what type of tree appear on the flag of the United Nations? So apparently a symbol of peace, the branches of what type of tree appear on the flag of the United Nations? There we are. So there we are, 10 straightforward general knowledge questions. Not really any catches there. Well, one was a bit of a catch question, but never mind. So I got it wrong in a quiz before. So is everybody ready? We don't really need to think about those, do we, or do we? Make sure you've got an answer down for each of them. And if you've enjoyed the quiz, as I say, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And hopefully we'll see you on Sunday night if you're one that likes doing 2 quizzes a week. And if not, come meet us next Wednesday night. Same time, 8 for 8:15. And we'll see how we fare. So here are the answers to the round. With a population in excess of 5 million, in which major African city does the Blue Nile meet the White Nile? That's Khartoum. Khartoum, I did rather give that away. But never mind. Question number 2. Brahma, of course, is worshipped in Hinduism. Number 3, according to the Met Office, a heat wave occurs when it is 5 degrees Celsius for 5 consecutive days above the average. Number 4, which of the following companies was founded first? Was it Apple or Microsoft? Well, it was Microsoft, but as I say, by a matter of months. So they were obviously into the same thing. Number 5, which of these Glastonbury headliners has not had a UK #1 hit single? Well, that was The Who. Surprising, The Who never had a UK #1. Number 6, John Pemberton, of course, was famous for coming up with the recipe for Coca-Cola. Well done, which claims to cure headaches, relieve exhaustion, and calm nerves. I could also have put down clean spoons and takes the paint off things and whatever else, but never mind. Number 7, which of the following countries has a national flag that doesn't feature a cross? Now, that was tricky. We know Finland's got a cross, but Estonia or Georgia? Well, it was Estonia, apparently. Estonia that doesn't feature a cross. Number 8, the line, neither a borrower or a lender be. That was the one I got wrong in the quiz before, because I immediately thought it was the show. What was it? Yeah, which one? Anyway, Merchant of Venice, but it wasn't. Of course, it comes from Hamlet, so well done if you got that. Number 9, of course, a numismatist collects coins. And finally, the symbol of peace, of course, is the olive tree. The olive tree, a type of tree that appeared on the flag of the United Nations, an olive tree. So, thanks everybody for taking part tonight. Let's have some scores in. Let's see who the winners are, and let's see who's in 3rd, 4th, or 5th place, because it's going to be very interesting. So we've got Andrew Lewis on 46. So well done, Andrew and Anne tonight. Steve Varden's on 54. Well played, well played. Graham Gifford also on 54. We've got Home Alone 6. Fantastic. Carol on 56. Who have tied with Sarah from Worcester on 56. Well played, Russ and Sarah. Martin Davis on 49. We've got 44 for the Yorkies. That is a new high score. Well played, the Yorkies. Clive and Janet from Stockton on fantastic 56. Well played, you. Nick Bowers on 51. We've got sorry, it's going off the screen. I know it would do. We've got Denise on 57. Well played. Gaz and Bean on 50. We've got Michelle Gibbons on 55. The Booby Prize Girls on 50. Jenna and Tracy on 53.5. We've got PRS on 59. Well played, PRS. Mega Roberts is on 54. We've got the Famous 5 on 54. We've got Leslie Barrett saying a feeble 48. Never mind. It was pretty good. That's pretty good. We've got Ian and his bottle of Shiraz on 58. Anne Anderson's on 52. Ian Miller, 54. He says, my best. Well played, him. Nick Bowers, Night, Jim and Cuz. Thanks, Nick and Lydia. Thanks, Nick and Lydia from Georgie Lambert. Any more scores to come in? We've got Alex on 50. So well done, them. I haven't seen what PRS. Wizzy Rascal scoring, and where's your score? I haven't seen. Oh, have we? I haven't seen it yet. 61 split the difference. Mike Yates on 45, just coming in. Brilliant, as per usual. Ready to go for a hard work to entertain. Well, I like to think I entertain. That's probably the word. But as for the quiz, I don't know about that, but never mind. Cheers, Leslie. Cheers, Mike. Cheers, Chris. Quizzy Rascals also on 61 points. So it's a tied first place tonight. What a fantastic outcome that was. So split the difference, and Quizzy Rascals both end up on 61 points. Well played, them. And Ian Sharrett, Sif, yes, we really are heavy on help. Great quiz as always, says Ian. Graham Gifford. Thanks, Nick. Back on home on Sunday. See you then. So do feel free, all of you, to come and join us on Sunday night for our quiz. Last Sunday's quiz I thought was an excellent quiz. Unfortunately, it all mucked up because I couldn't get my microphone working, but never mind. So I do apologise for that. And hopefully this week it's going to work from as soon as I switch it on. So good night all, and we will see you on Sunday if you're raring to do another quiz. So this is all us signing off. Do feel free to put a little bit more in the chat if you wish. And do feel free, if there's any rounds, particular types of rounds you like a trivia trial or whatever else. But yes, Nick signing off. Thank you all very much. And yeah, especially the new teams that have come and had a go, especially Clive and Janet and Denise, was it? I'm trying to think. I'm going to go back. Oh, yeah, it was Denise. So thanks, Denise. Thanks, and Clive and Janet from Stockton. It's been great to see you taking part. And you've both done very well as well. So obviously good quiz teams, which is more important. And once you get to know the format of the quiz, it gets easier. So it's not really easy when you first do an initial letter link. You've never done it before. But anyway, good night all. And thank you very much. And we will see you again on Sunday. And do feel free before you log off just to make sure that you have joined our video channel, next video channel, PUE 1957. So good night all, and thank you very much.